Welcome back everybody to another all-wheel drive Miata video. Today we are here at Tyler Fialko's shop, as you might be able to tell if you recognize it. And we are going to be doing the bodywork and paint of the all-wheel drive Rally Miata here in this location. Tyler was nice enough to offer his skills and expertise on getting this thing looking good. If you don't know who Tyler is, he is the person who's built some pretty crazy things like the Lamborghini out there and the Cressida right here. Very skilled with bodywork and paint, and I obviously am not. If you all remember, we painted the RX-7, and that, it didn't turn out bad, but it didn't turn out quite as good as I wanted. And for this build, we want it to look good. So that's why we are here. Huge thank you to Tyler for helping me and letting me use this place. In this video, we are going to be getting the body perfect, getting it ready for paint. So that requires sanding down all the spray paint, doing a bunch of body work, which is a in-depth thing. We have to mount the new Fender Flares, prep those, and then prep everything and start painting. At the end of this video, we're gonna show you guys what color we're going with. As you can tell, we've already begun. The car is 100% disassembled, no hard top, no fenders, all the trim, the glass, it's all removed, and we've begun bodywork. So we're filling holes in the hard top. We are smoothing out the fenders. Bodywork is a long and tedious process, but it's incredibly rewarding if we do it right. As you can see, step one is almost complete. A lot of the first bodywork is almost done. The hood is coming along. Well, for one, all of the spray paint is off the car. No more tan, that's good. The hood is coming along. The hardtop has made a lot of progress. No more paint on that. We have filled the holes, fixed some of the chips, and of course the car is disassembled. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start mounting the new Fender Flares. Now these Fender Flares are from Clenched Flares. Huge thank you to Clenched Flares for providing these flares for the Rally Miata. Let me talk about Clenched Flares for a little bit. Clenched Flares is really awesome because they offer universal fender flares in a wide variety of styles and sizes. They have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different styles, and each style usually has 2 to 3 different sizes, and the sizes are thicknesses. The other really cool thing is that their universal fender flares come with the gasket that goes in between the flare and the body that makes it look good, and all the riv nuts and hardware you need to attach the flares. We went with the biggest classic style fender flares on the Rally Miata. They're just like a classic Japanese JDM looking style fender flare. I think it's gonna look good, so yeah. The reason why I have to mount these now is because we have to cut the rear quarter panel and weld up the inner and outer rear quarter panel. That way no moisture gets inside and rusts stuff. So I'm gonna be doing that while Tyler continues on the hood. Once all the beginning bodywork has been finished, we are going to be doing a high filler primer on everything. We actually already did that on the doors and they look awesome. And then we'll bodywork it more, primer, paint, primer, bodywork, sand, paint, primer, etc., etc. So that's it. We decided not to do any body work, didn't fix the dents, and we're painting it satin black. Hopefully that excites you guys. No, this is just epoxy primer. This is going to allow the bodywork to stick to the metal a little bit better. So this is drying for a little bit, and then we're gonna head over to the high filler primer for the rest of the car. Is a hard sandable panel epoxy that we're using to just make sure no moisture gets behind the patch panel, no moisture gets in between the wheel well and the metal behind it. It's just an extra barrier to prevent moisture from destroying all of our hard work. And like I said, this is all sandable once it cures, so we'll be able to sand it down smooth in places we want to. We're not gonna bother down here, but
someone's gotta change. Someone's gotta change. So many years, too many tears on you.
of the body work is pretty much done. All the major stuff is done. These quarter panels are pretty much perfect, as you can tell, nice and smooth. You can no longer see where the antenna was. You can no longer see where the patch panel was welded in. That looks fantastic. Same thing on this side. That's all good. We have this body worked. This fender is also completely finished, nice and smooth. So now we have to go and paint the entire car with high filler primer again. And we're also gonna paint the trunk with high filler primer and the doors again. And then once the entire car is in another layer of high filler primer, it's basic sanding and body working the new finish panel. This is just an eBay special finish panel, which is the different lights, which is gonna look cool. And then of course mounting the Fender Flares. So for now, we're gonna tape stuff off again, clean everything off again, and paint everything again. The body work was definitely a lot of work, and I didn't even do that much, and I'm covered in dust. It's pretty brutal, but it's done, and it looks great. Seems like we're taking a brief intermission to drive the stance cars. Now, something you have to know, both of these cars have literal solid bars for their suspension. There's no suspension. Want to give it a bounce? Just to prove. Ha. Yeah. They look really cool. We'll see.
James can't. Hey James, show us how much training radius you got. Watch the front steps.
Oh, that's not bad.
You can make it happen.
Oh, it does. Yeah. Yeah.
James, get your shit out of here.
And then back.
Keep coming.
And then forward.
Keep coming. Keep coming. All right, go for it.
That one, yeah, that one's definitely got better turning. This is pretty crazy.
Yeah, you'll see. It's fun.
Oh, yeah.
The thing is, around here there's not that many people, but usually when it's just everyone is staring at you, it's overwhelming and fun, but yeah, it's an experience.
Yeah, I mean, when it's like smooth like this, it's really not too bad.
Oh yeah, well, when it's smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine right now.
Yeah, really not too bad. Yeah, I remember. Oh.
You can smell his tires.
Is that? Yeah, I was like, someone smells like they're burning some tire. That's hilarious. I was just rubbing on top of the wheel well. As long as you're going slow, it's not too bad either.
Oh man, I mean you go whole point.
Yeah. And now back to work. That was actually kind of a lot of fun. Yeah, that was actually pretty fun. So since these are universal Fender Flares, they don't fit the body perfect. You know, there's a slight gap. The cool thing about polyurethane is that you can heat it up with a heat gun and work it to shape. So, I mean, we used to have a ½ of an inch of gap here, and George is just slowly working it, so now it pretty much fits perfectly. And we're just using self-tappers to mount it up, get the holes initially drilled, and then we'll pull it off, paint it, and then after paint we'll put rib nuts in there. But it's just too much work. But wow, that's crazy. It's literally like pretty much perfect now. Last of the Fender Flares are mounted. Now, since these things were universal, they didn't fit quite very well when we first started trying to fit them up, but George worked his magic, and dang, these things fit so well now. I wish we would have gotten more clips of the Flares before we actually started body working them, because they were, you know, they were far off, but now they're awesome. George has a YouTube channel, and he's been filming a cool little vlog and behind the scenes kind of thing, so if you want to check that out, you can. I'll have a link in the description. But for now, we're gonna pull the Flares off, drill out the holes for the rib nuts, and then start getting ready for primer. With that, ladies and gentlemen, the Rally Miata is ready for paint. But saying it like that doesn't make it seem like we did much. You know, oh, we sanded a little bit here, put some body filler here, and boom, it's ready for paint. No, unfortunately that's not how it went. Tyler and I have spent the last 2 weeks doing all the stuff that you've seen in this video. And that's why there's been a delay between the last video and this video and the next video. Sorry about that, but it was a lot of work. I mean, we cut the quarter panels, we welded them up together, the inner and outer shell, we body worked everything obviously, which was a lot. We fixed all the rust, we primered it 2-3 times. We mounted the new clinched flares, cut them up, made them fit, painted those. We primered everything, we fixed the hard top holes, we fixed the damage on the hard top, we got the new finish panel, we body worked that. We fixed the hood scoop, we body worked that, we fixed the hood, that was all wavy, we body worked that. There was so much stuff that we did, and it's been so long that I've kind of forgotten like everything into this video, so. Either way, guys, I do hope you enjoyed. I certainly learned a lot. I certainly gained a lot of respect for anyone who does body work, because that was crazy. Huge thank you again to Tyler Fialco and George for all the help. They both have YouTube channels, so you can check them out, like I said. And yeah, that's it. Oh, but wait, the color. I told you guys I was gonna tell you the color in here. The color that we are painting the Rally Miata is World Rally Blue. It is the only Miata with a Subaru engine and all-wheel drive drivetrain in the world. So I thought it would be fitting to use Subaru's best, most iconic, keyword iconic, color, World Rally Blue. You know, it's such an awesome color. I love blue, I love World Rally Blue, and it's gonna look so sweet on the Rally Miata. It's definitely gonna be like a different vibe. It's not all off-roady and stuff like that, but it's gonna look good. It's gonna look crazy. I'm so excited. I'll see you guys in the next video where we paint the Rally Miata, we clear coat it, we get it looking great, we put it back together, and we bring her home. And of course, if you wanna see that video right now, you can head over to Patreon and become a patron. So guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for everything. I'll see you then. Peace out and goodbye. I'm driving to Tyler's right now to go paint it. Well, I'm driving to Tyler's right now to watch Tyler paint it. Because he's good. No, he's good, yeah.
Peace.